We are live.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, yeah. We are so live.
Well, I'm glad you opened with that.
Yeah, baby.
Not me pouring my coffee.
Chrysalis, a monster evolution lit RPG. You see them damn sexy grubs and ants on that cover? Yeah, you just want to rub its belly. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Jeff Hayes, Annie Ellicott, winning awards in this motherfucker.
Are you doing an impression of Justin? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're doing an impression of Justin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, well, let's make sure he knows about it. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Soundbooth Theater Live. Thank you guys for coming. Yes, so excited for this episode because, first of all, we get to brag about the fact that we have a box set out for Chrysalis. That's the first three books. It's 54 hours of audio for one credit. So you are totally stealing from us by taking this deal. So because we're celebrating Chrysalis today, we're also reviewing Aliens because so
That was why.
very much like ants. The aliens. It's like if they took ants and put them on PCP and steroids at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we chose Aliens. Plus, it was a great excuse to watch the damn movie again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Been a bit. I'd forgotten quite a bit of stuff about it.
Yeah. We're just gonna float right into this news section here. By the way, everyone, don't forget the audio immersion tunnel.
Shame on you.
I know, I'm sorry. For Dungeon Crawler Carl is complete for season 1. You can get the whole thing, listen to the whole thing all the way through, and you can tell us all about it. And if you like it, you should tell all your friends about it. Don't forget, on soundbooththeater.com, you can gift things to people. And so if you want to get someone addicted to the Dungeon Crawler Carl audio immersion tunnel, all you have to do is gift them the first episode for free. You can basically do that with everyone you know and just be that annoying for free. Right?
For free.
We'd really appreciate it
Makes
if
it really
you would be
special.
that annoying to all the people that you love.
Huh?
Yeah, baby. Sending
Oh,
gifts.
God.
Okay.
Both free.
What else? What else? What other pieces of news? I mean, Chrysalis, pre-order book 4. It's the pre-order is already up. It releases on the 27th. So if you if you get this box set and you're like, okay, I know I want to keep going with this series, pre-order's right there. So help us out with that. If you pre-order it, the more people that pre-order it, the more it's going to make a bang as soon as it releases on Audible and shoot up those ranks, and people will see that Chrysalis exists. All right, yeah. What else for news?
Cold reads for Chrysalis 5 and Dead Tired 2 come out tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
As well as Fate of Wizardum's book 4.
Fate of Wizardom. Is that
Are distributed.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow. If you guys don't know what cold reads are, basically it's a segment of Soundbooth Theater Live in which I narrate the first about 30% of a book, and it's spread across a few different videos. And you get to watch my process here on YouTube. Well, if you like to download the audio and just listen to my process, you can do that too on our platform. You just go to soundbooththeater.com, you look up the cold reads, you can find Chrysalis 5 tomorrow, and also Dead Tired 2 tomorrow. If you guys didn't know, Dead Tired is Justin Thomas James's newest series, and it is killing it on Audible. People absolutely love this book. Dead Tired 2 is in the works, and you can hear his process as well. Oh, that's funny. There's a Dead Tired's in the title of that.
Yeah, I didn't even want to pull this up. It just our
happened.
website's.
Oh,
our
that's
website's
one of
slow.
the tales.
One of the tales, yeah.
Our website's slow. I can't click. I don't know
Dead
what to
Tired's
do.
one of the short stories in there.
Ah!
Don't
Oh,
show
what are you
people that.
doing?
Why are you showing people this?
Oh,
That is worse than showing your balls on
So
stream.
unprofessional.
Come
I'm so unprofessional.
Swear. Gosh.
I'm so unprofessional. That's why I don't go out to see people.
You guys didn't see that.
Yeah, you didn't.
See what?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing to see
exactly,
here at all.
exactly. So also tomorrow, Fate of Wizardom, and this is what, book 4 or 3?
Book 4.
All right, Fate of Wizardom, book 4. We are releasing one book a week, I believe,
Yes.
or every 2 weeks. One book a week from Jeffrey Koenig. I believe that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah, I
Travis
think
Baldry
Baldry.
is the narrator of this series. Let's see, book 4. There's 6 books in this series, and then another
Yes.
6 in the next
Yes.
in the next series. These are all Jeffrey Koenig, and Travis Baldry is narrating all of those. They're available for just $9.99 on our platform. You can get the first book. It's like a short story, right? Like a
Well,
novella.
there's the novella, and then there's the actual books.
Right. So the novella is free. So check that
Yes.
out if you're at all curious. You can get that for free. Here we go. Fate of Wizardoms, and it's so cool to have Travis Baldry on our platform. But the reason we are publishing these is because Justin Thomas James is working on the next series by this same author, Jeffrey Koenig, and it does tie into
Yes.
these series.
It all falls under the Wizardoms banner.
Absolutely. So I believe Justin is slated for 3 of those books, and they'll be releasing throughout the year. Tor the Dungeon Crawler, just watch out for that when it comes up. But for now, if you want to listen to some Travis Baldry on soundbooththeater.com, there you go. This is your opportunity. So yeah, I think that's all we need to do for news. We should keep going, so that people don't get upset at us for being a news show instead of
Which
an entertainment
mic are
show.
you using?
People don't like
Oh my
the
God.
news.
Is this one not working?
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you are sounding different. I didn't even
see.
pick
Very
up on that.
boxy. Let's get
How's
in the
that?
room. Oh,
There you go.
So much better. Sorry, guys.
Yes. Boy,
Yeah,
you were
no,
sounding really
yes.
unprofessional, Jeff.
Yeah, he was.
That's like the
an
name of the
unprofessional.
game today. Unprofessional.
See, I was
Yeah,
doing the
I know, I'm
oh,
giving
yeah.
away the-
and like you weren't getting the.
I
you weren't
wasn't
the-
getting that. No, I wasn't
you weren't
getting any
the
of it.
sexy.
Wasn't
Okay.
working. Wasn't doing it.
Maybe it would have sounded less like Justin if I would have heard you. Hey, let's try it again. Hang on.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
That's right. Chrysalis Box Set. Books 1 through 3. Oh yeah, rub that grub's belly. Shine it up. Get him to spit out his silk. Yeah, that's right. Grubs, poop, silk. And you want that on your body. All right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah,
was
and
gross.
nothing like Justin. Nothing like Justin. It's super gross. Nothing like Justin.
All right. Well, so our segments for today, we have a troll poll. I don't know how to pronounce. Is it Josef or Josef? Schobel?
Well, maybe. We'll ask him.
We'll ask him when he comes on.
Yeah.
He has requested something, so we will be trolling that. We also have, of course, our cinema segment where we will be talking about aliens. And what else do you guys want to do at the end? Do some more. You know, ChatGPT did all right
yeah.
last time.
They
Yeah.
cleaned up their act.
Yeah.
So-
No, the other way around. They've
Their
allowed
act
more
got
dirtiness
cleaned up?
Okay.
into their. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking like the bias has been removed. I've noticed that, so that's cool.
Oh, you also used it after we. Or
I
was
was
it from that
checking
time?
for things that it wouldn't allow before. It now allows it.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. So ChatGPT has taken the stick out of its ass.
Yeah.
How about that?
Finally.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, maybe we'll do some we'll play around with some ChatGPT at the end. So I don't know, what do you got? You want to do cinema first, or you want to do the troll poll first?
It's up to you guys. I'm good. I got coffee here if you want to do the troll poll.
go.
I saw Ahmed.
Here we
I
go.
saw Ahmed's face, and I'm like, oh, he's getting ready to hit it.
ready.
Hit it. He's getting ready to hit us with that thing.
It's not coming.
Oh man, Simon Smith says, like Border Patrol, I'm here for the aliens. Yes,
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
yes, sir. Okay, so aliens, guys. It was so nice to see this movie again. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Man, so legit. Everything about this movie's legit as hell. The effects, the music, like the music more than anything, I think, is what really sold this movie to me.
Really?
The second time, or
The
not
music.
the last time. Just like, wow, what a great job of creating tension. In, you know, it's weird because it's epic and subtle at the same time. It's like a simple score that just does the best job of creating so much tension. Yeah.
You know, in preparation for this, I rewatched Alien.
Mm.
And talk about a simple score.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout much of that movie, there wasn't any score.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that heightened the tension quite a bit as well, just because you knew something was up. Game over, man! Game over! Yeah, I know. So you go ahead, tell your thoughts. I had some different things written down, just kind of meandering in my brain.
Yeah, you know, I'm having an issue that, like, I thought that I figured I was going to have, which is I don't know what to say. It's so...
Okay, let me
Yeah,
start.
somebody
then. I have
else
a lot. I have
start-
a
yeah, yeah.
lot to say.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Just-
Go
well,
on,
let me
man.
just start
Go.
with my stuff. First of all, James Cameron. I don't know like what his like affiliation with the studio is, or how it worked, or where he was at when he did this, but he clearly was given a fortune to make this movie. Or
What was the
because there are so many sets in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that he even in the very beginning he pans across the set to show you where a lot of scenes are going to take place. The you know the intro where they're walking around, they're working, and then finally they come back at the end in that bay. So that was one like set piece was that the set. You know, the other set was like I guess the hallway in the complex. And so all these sets are like really built out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that actually that I thought was really hilarious was the things that he obviously couldn't do at the time, right? So he had the shots of the toy car, right? You know, and then you got the toy plane, and you know the toy spaceship, right? So it's like all that stuff is
He
like
did
not,
that in Terminator 2 and the Terminator as well.
No, of course.
Yeah.
And he did the best he could in the time frame, but when
Right.
you look at it, it's like, oh, that's a toy. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
driving down the hallway and it's like
Yeah.
crashing in the walls, but it's a toy.
Yeah.
And so there were things that he could do and things that he couldn't do. When it came to the set design, when it came to the costumes, he was able to do it. Now, the thing that I really noticed that was glaring, there were a few things. Well, one was the aliens were not in the movie a lot. And I think that the reason for that is because the costumes look funny. Like the person in the costume, it gives it away too much. And I think James Cameron's wisdom to know not to put too much of the aliens in it, because that will like ruin the tension. You know, you got a dude in a costume coming out like, you know.
Yeah, they
all
also
of the
kept a lot
shots
of them in the dark,
aliens-
too.
All of the shots of
Yeah.
the aliens are them slithering and moving, like shots that you knew were like caught real fast, or even when they get shot and they explode, even the explosions were like real short edits.
Yeah.
Like he made it like, I think my imagination is that a lot of these things looked goofy, you know, and he was like, ugh, like that shot is just not, it's too goofy. I gotta like find a way to keep it in, but also cut it out. And so like even the shots, like a lot of more of it's implied than there actually is visually. Today, you would see every single thing.
Yeah.
You'd see every single alien slithering, and I mean, I honestly would like to see that, you know, or some form of that, you know, in the future. But it's what was implied that was more interesting. And then
Real quick, hold on. Before you move on, we forgot to remind people
to put your
their
score.
scores.
Put your score in the chat out of 10.
Yeah.
Sin will take these down.
And I guess the only other thing was, I feel like Hudson's not Hudson. Game
Which one
Over
was
Man.
Was that
think
Hicks?
that is-
That is
No,
Hudson.
no,
Hudson?
that is Hudson. Yeah,
Is that
Right?
Hudson?
Hicks is the
Hicks
guy from
was-
Terminator.
Yeah,
I
Michael
thought
Bean's character.
Hudson wasn't the boss. Okay. So
no,
yeah,
no, that's yeah.
So I feel for some reason
Scores already.
I felt like his reaction and irrationality was not earned. It's this weird thing that I kind of like grabbed onto. He
You
was
mean his
hysterical.
panic?
He was hysterical immediately. Like, and I don't know if that's
it
what
didn't
it's
take
like in
much.
Warzone, like when people like kind of lose their shit. But for people who are supposed to be these like colonial Marines or whatever that means, tough guys who are we're not scared of nothing. It's a bug hunt. Like in other words, we've potentially hunted aliens elsewhere before.
Mm-hmm.
When they say something like that, there's like maybe an implication of that they fought something rugged. Then it breaks down and you see that the boss was like he didn't really have that many hours flying, and then you see this dude Hudson panic. I don't know if that was trying to make the point that they weren't as tough as they thought they were, or that the aliens were so nasty that I didn't feel that was earned for whatever reason. Watching it this time around, he was like right away he was like 10, and the whole time he was 10. And what's cool is I feel like a lot of it was probably improvised. And they just they went with it, and a lot of his lines are iconic, like his absurdity, he's just kind of like blabbering through the background of everything. But yeah, that was one thing that I picked up on that I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, Simon was mentioning that that Hudson's freakout was meant to elevate Ripley's bravery.
Right,
They haven't
exactly.
fought a threat like this before.
Yeah,
I did not
agreed.
get the sense that they had fought anything like this before, so they felt like they could just handle whatever because they were a bunch of tough guys. And then when they came into this situation that they were totally unprepared for, Hudson was the one who snapped, because not all people can, just tough it
they
through.
walked pretty deeply into the alien infrastructure nest,
Yeah.
and more deeply than I feel like anybody should be comfortable with, which is confused me about whether or not they had faced something, else.
So-
Because it's like, I get that you have orders, maybe they're just well trained and you have orders and you gotta go. But when you start to see stuff kind of fall apart in that way, do you keep going? Like, is it common
They did
sense
pull
to
back when they first went in and
Right,
they got
but they
attacked.
walked all the way in and
Yeah,
found the nest after
Right.
seeing all this junk, and it's like, don't you start to? You see the walls are changing. Don't you want to like
Yeah, I think
cool off and be like, wait a minute, I don't think it's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
idea to go any further.
I think that his freaking out, all of this stuff that kind of doesn't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense, is more to demonstrate the disconnection of the people giving the orders from
Yes,
the situation,
that's it. did
and,
demonstrate,
the expendability that the corporation viewed the Marines
Yes,
in that
absolutely.
instance, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even the lieutenant that they sent down, right, was completely inexperienced for any kind of field work. And so, he was incompetent, and Ripley herself was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, because she knew.
Yeah, she knew. They brought her as an expert and never listened to her until people started dying,
Right.
right? So I think that was more what they were demonstrating. Like, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Hudson,
Well,
maybe
absolutely, he was-
Hudson is like, a Marine who's always gung ho until he gets pushed into this situation where he feels like they're ordering him to go die for no reason,
Yes, Simon. He's always got these little.
Puts on shades. I like it. But yeah, no, it did demonstrate that the commander was ill-experienced. He told them to not use explosives because they were. I get all of that.
Yeah. They should,
you know, and-
but instead of saying, "Hey, put your guns away. He should have said, get out of there. We need a new plan.
Yeah, because I was
Right.
wondering, why did they keep walking with these guns that they weren't supposed to use?
Right.
I was like, why didn't
And then
Vasquez put her big old ass gun down?
They
and
give
no,
up.
she just
They
kept...
give up their clips, and there's this whole ceremony around.
Yeah, but they're
that.
still walking. Yeah, they're still walking with the guns, those big guns.
Well,
then
no,
there's
but then
whole-
she pulled out her spare, and she
Yeah, well, she kept one anyway.
she disobeyed orders.
Correct. But I mean that was all interesting. Like in the platoon, like I'm gonna make a platoon in space, or I'm gonna make an Apocalypse Now in space. Just the inner workings of a Marine squad in the future. Like I get that, but I also felt like it was a little in that environment. It was a little weird. Like it's like, wait, why would you why would you ever do that, right? Like that's a little weird.
Yeah. What did you? So I think there's now that I'm thinking about it, there's something that did bother me a little bit, and I think it was just the dialogue, the Marine dialogue, like getting introduced to them. They were all
the banter.
They were all very, very on the nose archetypal.
Yeah.
Marines.
Oh, yeah.
Like there were no characters that you didn't already recognize from a million other things. Right? No one really stood out. Ripley is still the only person who stands out, except maybe Burke.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because, he's the exact opposite. Like he's like extremely charismatic, right? And convincing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he's a snake.
Yeah, he was great. He was Paul Reiser was excellent.
But you
Yeah.
knew that was going to happen, obviously, because of things that happened in the first movie. So you knew about the corporation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the shell game they were playing in this movie was because if you're coming off the last movie, the last movie's biggest villain was the synthetic.
Yeah.
So the synthetic was like the horror monster, and
Bilbo.
so they wanted to point
Bilbo
you, and
Baggins.
even they introduce Lance. They introduce his character Bishop with the whole thing to kind of to cast your glance at him.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be somebody's going to do something, and it's going to be the corporate, but it gives you enough of a shell game within the story for you to question. If I imagine seeing it for the first time after seeing Alien, then I'd be like, oh, that damn synthetic. I wonder when he's going to come out and do something, on company orders. And then, so you're not sure. And then Bishop kind of comes through in the end in a way.
Yeah.
And
He totally comes through.
They kind of flip it in a way.
And he gets run through.
Yeah, he does.
So I love Simon Smith said, and I totally agree with him. It has the best comeback in the history of film. Vasquez, have you ever been mistaken for a man? She says,
No, have you? yeah, you're totally right. There's a lot of iconic lines from that movie that we took away from that movie.
It's so funny
But that's a great one. Yeah.
The actress who played her, obviously she was in Terminator 2. She was in Titanic. She is not Latina, but the way she did her voice, it doesn't even sound like her, the way she talked.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you listen to her in Terminator 2,
Yeah.
she sounds like a completely different person. I thought she was really, really good in that role. So yeah, that was cool. But all right, so some stuff I couldn't help but all right. The last 30 minutes of this movie, y'all, I was watching it on practically fast forward. I was jumping forward because okay, our manager's meeting went long and I had a lot of stuff to do. Then I had to sit back down. I had like an hour left, but I was misreading the time. I thought this one was 2 hours and 24 minutes. No, it was 2 hours and 34 because it was the special edition. So it was like, holy crap, we got 20 minutes to showtime. Boom, boom, boom. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. So I hate that. So I didn't get the most pleasant viewing experience. But I couldn't help but notice, I watched Alien, and I've always said that Alien is my favorite out of the two of them. I'm not as in love with Aliens as a lot of people are, even though James Cameron did it. And as I'm watching this, I'm noticing different similarities to Terminator and Terminator 2. Like the character of Ripley, she's very much like the character of Sarah Connor. She knows this big bad danger. She's trying to warn them. They will not listen to her. They think she's crazy. They basically, like treat her very much the way they did Sarah Connor. You know, with Sarah Connor, they locked her away. In this one, they basically penalized her.
Yeah.
So she had this job like at a warehouse or whatever. Also, I like, though, that they indicate by that they show us how she knew how to operate that machinery.
Yeah.
Because if they hadn't, that would have had me rolling. Because in so many movies today, people can just jump in this thing and automatically know how to operate something so perfectly. And it's just so lame. But in this, they had a good setup. I go, she knows how to operate this because she's had experience. So I like that.
Yeah.
But other things that were thematically similar to, or similar in nature, there's a scene where at the very beginning when we're seeing the facility and it's showing the people walking through talking and you're just kind of like seeing how the operation's going. That was so similar to the setup at Cyberdyne for Terminator 2 when it's showing Miles Dyson walking with this guy through there and they're talking about, there's even a line that's similar, something about, they told me don't ask or something. Yeah. It's almost exactly the same sort of thing in those two. So I thought that was, and also the artificial person, the robot that Lance was. Mm-hmm. Did you guys catch the name?
Bishop?
His model. He was a Hyperdyne Systems.
Oh, really? I missed that.
Cyberdyne. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't.
I totally missed that.
I would pick up on this stuff because it's James Cameron and all this. But this was, of course, years before Terminator 2. But I just thought that was cool. Also, some of the dialogue I thought was funny, when they were told that they couldn't use their guns. And one of them said something like, oh, what are we supposed to use? Harsh language?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, reminds me of, like a lot of times when you're talking about dealing with criminals and bad people and like, oh, what are you supposed to do? Talk nicely to them and they'll be good to us. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. But there's a couple of things I had an issue with. But I like the extended edition much better because the extended edition, it's been a couple years, 3-4+ years since I saw it. I had forgotten a lot of the stuff in there, but in the special edition, we understand why she had this connection with Newt because we get the story about her daughter. Which that is not present really in the theatrical version. So I think that only strengthens it. Mm-hmm. I think it was a mistake, I feel like, to cut that out.
Me too.
Because we see what she's lost. She's been in like space for 57 years and she hasn't aged, but everything around her it reminds me a lot of different things I've read. I think maybe like in the Ender's Game books, they talked about that, like how long it would take to travel. And while you don't age, where you're going to or coming from, they're all aging. So you get somewhere and they're like 100 years older or whatever. And so it was kind of the same sort of thing. But a couple of things that aggravated me. Well, I already mentioned the one about why are they walking around with their guns still? They gave up their clips, but they were still walking around with the guns, even the people that didn't have clips anymore. I thought that was kind of weird. Also, the acid burns. It should have gone right through their bodies. It always went through the metal and everything else around, but not straight through their bodies. That was
so. Okay, there might be a bit of an explanation for this.
Didn't they try to explain that a little bit? They said something, but I don't remember what they said about
I'm
the acid.
assuming that in those instances where you're seeing the hole in the ceiling that's melted all the way through, it's because an alien died there and continued to leak.
No.
Whereas with just a splash of acid, it's only going to go so far, right?
But I
think that might be an explanation.
That's not consistent with what was going on in the first movie. And I only know this because I saw the first. I had seen the first movie,
that's right. That's right. Yeah, they're like
they were trying to cut that thing. They were trying to cut that because they had his claws on the guy's face, and they were trying to cut it. And just the bleeding from that cut dripped all the way down through multiple layers of that thing that they were in. So, coming fresh off of Alien and watching this, when I saw people with the acid and they were still surviving, it should have eaten straight through them. So that was a little bit of it's a minor issue, honestly.
Yeah.
I still don't like this one more than the first Alien. I think I just like the pure horror aspect of the first one more. It just worked more for me. But I do obviously can appreciate that the technical quality of the filmmaking is better, because as many years later, like the first one came out in 79, I think this one came out in 86. So you've got 7 years of advancement. Stan Winston, of course, excellent work as pretty much always. He has worked with James Cameron numerous times on the Terminator movies.
Is he makeup? What is he?
He's like the he does like the robotic creature stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he's really he worked. I think one of the last movies he worked on before he passed away was Terminator 3.
Now, Henry Lanewind, let me know if I pronounced your name correctly. He says acids can react very differently with metal and flesh.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess
that's where I was gonna go with that too.
Okay.
That's possible, but
I think
it's
the
but you're
contrast
right.
is pretty deep. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's
Because you would think flesh, I don't know.
I think
You
when I
just
was
feel
I think even as a kid, I was always like, what's with this inconsistency with how the acid works? You know? But holy shit, the practical effects in this in this movie. Wow. Look at that design for the Queen Alien. That is epic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Just absolutely amazing. She was so terrifying the entire time she was on screen.
So the last
even the goofy
scene,
stick figure
I had
kind of looking
it was
stuff.
very interesting, like placing the last scene, because at some point she was closer to the Queen than other points. It was a little weird. Like her position to the Queen was weird. I also noticed this technology that they were using that I wouldn't have noticed before, but because of the higher frame rate that we get to watch it in, you can like pick apart the work. This particular image that we're looking at, I believe, is a screen. They're standing in front of a screen with
there
an
were multiple
image on it.
Yes.
So this one and the other one they did that was when they jumped away from the exploding ship.
Yep.
There was another clear screen that they were like jumping away from. And so the contrast from the screen to the model to where she was located in the egg room was a little weird. Like I noticed, I felt like sometimes she was close to the Queen, sometimes she was far. It was just a little. And then the when the aliens came in after her and she like did the head tilt, like like I thought we had a truce, you know. And then she starts like torching the eggs. Yeah, I felt like there was an interesting, like how they placed the shots and the proximity was interesting to me. To the model and then to the projector.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that just because I'm aware of his use of that in Terminator 2. So when it showed up here, I could spot it more easily.
So Benjamin Wagner says, I had to let you know they had normal bullets, but had to give up their explosive bullets. And I don't know if that's completely accurate because remember Hicks brings out his shotgun. Right,
Yeah.
and like
They
somebody
act
else
like they
brings out
couldn't
their pistol.
shoot
so,
at all.
like they didn't have. I don't think they actually had non-explosive rounds for their pulse rifles and for their smart guns.
Yeah,
I
I
think
was under the impression they couldn't shoot at all because
no, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. That's why you know, Hicks was able to bring out his shotgun and nobody said anything. You know.
Yeah, and even
but when they started shooting, they were told to stop firing.
Yeah, well, because they were firing the explosive rounds. They were firing the from the pulse rifles.
It was also interesting that here's them next to the model of the whole big model that they built.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool? See, that's the little truck next to this guy here.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, everything miniaturized but done so well. It's like Star Wars, you know.
Did you guys notice that the defeat of the alien at the very end was pretty much exactly the same as? And I had forgotten that, and that was kind of a little.
You didn't like that? I thought it was cool.
It was just a repeat, an exact repeat
sort of.
almost.
It's just a bigger version.
Well, once again, he was obfuscating the ending from the first movie because the expectation is that that's what you're gonna get.
And that's what we got. Whereas with
Right, you
Bishop,
get
we
it,
got
but-
something completely different.
Well, right. No, we got it, but the thing was the timing when you got it. It fools you for a second, the movie.
Right,
You know,
right.
he gets on the ship, but they
both
give
do
you
it.
a little
They
hint.
both
She
do it.
looks.
They both
The
do it.
queen looks, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. But then you forget about her, and it's like, oh yeah, they got away, no problem. And then it turns out the queen was on the ship.
No, but I mean, the first one's the same way. She thinks that she makes it out.
She thinks she's safe,
Right,
and
right,
she's
She's
in
in the
there.
escape pod, and
Yeah.
then
And they're
oops,
celebrating.
It made it in the escape.
Yeah.
It made it in the escape pod. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, the endings are virtually
Oh
identical.
no, I guess.
you
Oh,
know.
right. I guess it was different because it's not. They weren't on a ship, and she was trying to get away from the ship. It came on board the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that's. But yes, exactly the same. Otherwise, it got blown out the airlock, right?
right.
But no.
Yeah,
But after
out
that
into
harrowing
space.
fight with the loader, that was a lot of fun. The design of that. I feel
That
like the
loader.
design of everything was so
Yeah.
rich.
Yep.
Yep.
The environment, and even because you know what usually happens is you watch a movie in 4K, and all of the detail slips away with older movies. Like if you watch Tron, it kind of everything gets flat because it's like there was no detail there. But this, because it's based on reality somehow.
Yeah.
Even the brushing on the loader, it looks so real that even on a real close up, it holds up. So the actual film looks beautiful even to this day, which is a testament to the absolute quality that he's bringing, that they're bringing when they're working on this stuff. You know,
That loader, by the way, all practical, amazing. You know what brought it to life? The sound,
yeah.
right? Because it's all just foam, I'm sure. Because she's lifting those arms. She's walking. She's in that costume. Right?
It looked
And
like
she's-
stop motion with one of the other characters. Did you see when they
No,
was
I
first
didn't see that.
showing them? So it's showing how it works. Then she gets in and she's moving stuff around. And then behind her, when it's showing another character working with it, it looks stop motion. And I
Really?
was a little confused because I was
I
thinking
missed
to
that.
myself, these look practical. That scene back there looks like a stop motion. Something going on. I don't know. That might have just been.
I'll have to watch it again.
That's
it's
hilarious.
really
So-
quick.
So James Cameron hated it. Apparently,
Hated what?
hated working at Pinewood. I guess that's the studio that they worked at. and
Oh,
they did all
okay.
this work at
Okay.
it.
Oh, I'm okay.
He couldn't
Wait.
he couldn't wait to leave and never come back. Apparently.
He told the crew this has been a fraught with many problems, but the one thing that kept me going through it all was the certain knowledge that one day I would drive out the gate of Pinewood and never go.
So
I
was
wonder,
Pinewood the set?
I think it's in England. Yeah,
Oh,
Pinewood Studios.
Okay.
I've heard of them before. I did not know about that drama. I mean, I know that. So it doesn't surprise me there were issues because James Cameron is very strong-willed and just basically he's just a big asshole. So he's hard to work with for some people. Kate Winslet did not have a good time working with him on Titanic, which is why it surprised the heck out of him. And she had reportedly said she was not going to work again with him. And then she comes back and she does
then she
work with
did.
him in Avatar 2. So I was thinking, well, the money must have been really, really, really good.
Well,
Or
plus
she
how
got
many
old.
decades between those?
Right. It
movies?
had been obviously
She got
multiple
old.
decades.
She changed. You know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
She got more crotchety and mean, and she was like, I get him now. I get it. Let's go be crotchety
Yeah.
and mean. Honestly.
Yeah. So the loader was, I think, the sound effects is
Yeah.
exactly the thing
Yeah.
that made it seem real. Gosh, costumes. I don't know, man. I think they did a great job with editing because you're right.
Yes.
Like there were moments where the movement was a bit awkward with the people in the costumes,
Yeah.
but you see so little of it.
Yeah, they
And
cut
the
it so
look of the
nicely.
costumes on the surface without movement is so good, and the way that the aliens blended in with the environment that they made.
Yeah, they
with
would
the
just start moving,
secretions.
and you were like, "Wait, I didn't
Yeah.
even notice that before. Let me
Yeah.
rewind and see if I can."
Yeah, if you can
So
spot the
cool.
thing hanging, and it was there. It was there. It
Yeah,
was totally
yeah,
there in
for
the
sure.
shot before. Somebody was just waiting, like good theater.
Yeah.
No, they're just like,
Yeah.
"Ah."
So one thing that I've always wondered is the design for the standard alien changed from the first movie to the second movie. The first
Yeah.
movie, it's got that smooth
Mhm.
skull.
Yeah.
And then in
And
this
these have-
one, they
they
have
have a
all
bumpy-
this ridging and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys know if Geiger came on for this movie but was not there for the first movie?
Geiger? I don't know. Who was Geiger again?
The guy
he's
who
the
designed
artist.
the aliens.
Oh,
The artist. Yeah, we were just looking at some of his stuff on the screen.
Hold on, I'll go to his Wikipedia page. Because
Yeah,
okay,
this is-
he did work on the first Alien, and he also worked on. Okay, in the second one, you guys, he was only credited for the creation of the creature, so he did not work on the second one.
Wow.
So they decided to upgrade the alien.
But look at the design of the queen. It looks like, to me, that is quintessential Geiger look.
No, they took his.
They just used that as inspiration for what they did.
and they did good.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
Like essentially, they must have they expounded on his
Well,
design.
also, yeah, I wonder, maybe the reason that they look different is because there's been a longer passage of time that has happened.
Oh,
In the first
also-
Alien, it was just a matter of hours or whatever that this whole story takes place from, or it's just a short amount of time. And this other one, they get sent there well after whatever's happened to the colony. So those creatures, maybe this is what they're supposed to look like as they're much older. I don't know.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like that's, because
Because they have an actual
when the
hive
baby
now.
alien comes out, it's smooth, right? Its head is
yes,
smooth,
yes.
right? These have been kind of like hanging around and hardening, maybe the skin or whatever on the top of their head shrinks down and like gets more into the crevices of the skeleton. That's a good thought.
And not to discount Geiger, maybe he drew all this stuff the first time around. Like, who knows? Maybe they just kept using his art. Like that, it's totally plausible. They were just like, okay, yeah, here's the queen design that he had, and they were just like, okay.
So Sashi says the xenomorphs change appearance based on their host.
Right.
So that might
right.
also
But
be
it's
part of.
human to human. It's like
Yeah, that wasn't evident until it ate the dog or whatever. Until it like
Right,
went to
that
the
was
dog,
Alien
and
3.
The dog alien came out.
Oh, I
And
was
then after that,
like, what are
they
you talking
really-
about? What dog? I don't remember seeing
Yeah,
a
Alien
dog.
3 was a dog alien, right?
Yep. Simon Smith says, nope, Geiger hated the reworked aliens. I wonder
Okay.
why.
Okay.
I would love to know what.
Maybe because he didn't work on
Oh. Geiger thought his design was beautiful, biomechanical, whereas the aliens in the sequel just looked like bugs. I don't know about that.
it. Yeah, if you look at all the scenes they're in when you watch the movie, like not having all the additional artwork and lore that we have now, that very little bit that you see them in the movie, they do look like cockroaches, right? Just kind of crawling on the walls. I don't know,
Sort
though.
of.
I
I don't know.
that's-
I got the biomechanical feel from the aliens in the sequel as well, though. I don't know. They look like the piping. They look like.
So I wonder why then. I wonder why he thinks that.
That
Yeah,
would be something
I'd be
to
curious
look
to
into. Yeah.
dig more in. Well, oh man, just this nest scene is
this
just
is
like
great.
The
so
scene
gross.
with the first death when the alien, I believe the first death in here, okay, horror stream, I'm sorry, I'm responding to something on my Rumble. It's Terminator 2, Always and Forever. No question at all. He's asking me aliens or Terminator 2. So when the xenomorph jumped on the guy for the first kill, just jumped on his back and pulled him up, that didn't look so great to me. Like, kind of tying back into what Ahmed was saying, I didn't think that looked very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like he jumped on his whole body. He
loved all
jumped
the-
on, and it looked like clumsy, and it just didn't.
I
don't
love the
know.
tension and the way they used the screens. That was very clever. Very clever.
And
use.
the
gun,
motion
the
detector.
gun ammunition. Yeah, yeah, and the motion detector.
That's like iconic, dude. Like every Aliens video game, if you're playing a Marine, you got that. You got that motion
the
detector.
Motion detector. Also, it's worthy to note after watching the extended edition that Patient Zero for the colony was Newt's father.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah, they were the ones that they were the
Yeah,
miners
he's-
that went out too far.
Yeah, they went out
and-
to the ship.
to excavate, and they went into the ship. The mom and dad went into the ship, and then they came back out, and so
Yes.
she was privy to the horror like firsthand right away before they even started experimenting on them. So maybe that's why she had kind of a leg up, or something. Why she was more of a survivor than the rest. The rest were playing with fate. They were
Right.
harvesting them, and they had them in bottles. It wouldn't have gotten so bad had they not. It could have been better if they didn't get more. That's kind of the thing, is that the one created a monster for sure, and they contained it somehow, or they didn't, and then they went back to the ship and ended up harvesting them, which is totally crazy to think about. That a crew went out to the ship, harvested all of the eggs, somehow isolated the eggs and harvested them, but then still got contaminated and ended up contaminating the whole colony with it. So there's an implication there that's not like completely obvious. I think that's worthy.
Yeah,
Well,
that's another thing I love
I
about
think it
this
was
movie.
yeah,
Not
the
everything's completely
corporation
obvious.
was behind all of that stupidity.
Yeah. I love the look of the colony. I love the look of the
Yes.
insides.
It's iconic. There's everything's been designed after that. I feel
Yeah.
like the look of a door in any sci-fi, it just has to look like that somehow. And or rather, it's so ingrained in my thought. Like every game I play, Halo especially, I think Halo is really drawn from this.
Oh yeah,
A lot.
100%.
You know,
100%.
the doors in Halo, the way that they, maybe not so much the aliens, but definitely like the soldiers for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick before we talk about numbers, let's just say one more time to everybody who's in the chat, please give us your rating out of 10 for Aliens. I think I only saw like 4 different ratings from people.
I saw 5.
5
So
of
if
them?
anybody hasn't put their I got the
There's
first
16
5.
people here.
There's 16.
people here.
Okay, and I've got there's 6. Okay,
That's
I see 6 on my YouTube and also 4 on my Rumble. So you say you have 6. Okay, someone from Facebook says 10.
Yep. Gosh, there's just so much. I really liked the cast. I think with what they had to work with, everybody did great. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked that there were extra people. And that you get to, I mean, some of them obviously you don't get to know very well. They die pretty quickly. You don't see them very often.
Yeah, it's like a horror movie.
But others, there's just more there. Hey, Mike, how you doing? So I liked that we had more of a crew. The first movie, it was tiny compared to the cast here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's military sci-fi horror.
the cast in the first one was great too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yes.
was so
Yes.
good. Okay, well, I think everyone's got ratings that want to rate.
Okay,
you got
I've
'em
written
all?
everything down that I've seen. So do you have a number ready, Jeff?
I have a number ready.
Okay.
All right, let's hear from Ahmed first.
All right,
All right,
Ahmed.
I'm gonna give this movie a 9.
Oh, we have a lot of 9s. Okay, we got someone here with that. Okay,
Oh, we got an 8 from Friendly Neighborhood.
I wrote that down.
Okay.
Okay.
Sin, what do you got?
I'm giving it an 8.
An 8.
I would give the first one an 8.5.
Okay, I'm gonna give this one a 9.5.
Whew. Oh my.
I'm gonna give Alien, the first one, a 9.25.
Okay. Well, actually, I can tell already this thing's going to average out at a 9 something. Because we got multiple 9s.
Like 8.75. Oh, everybody else. It'd be 8.75
tens.
between the three of us.
Oh, do you want me to
tens,
just tally up ours compared to theirs? I can.
Yeah, ours is 8.75. That's easy. A 9, a 9.5, and an 8.
It's an
Yeah, this hallway right here.
8.8333333.
This hallway, Jesus, this look
Yes.
right here.
I
is
love the Last Stand.
This look
you know,
is
like
everything.
Yeah.
Right here, this is The Expanse. This is.
Yeah.
Was
this?
this-
Is,
This wasn't where Vasquez and her buddy die, right? Was this or was
no,
this
no,
somewhere?
they died in
No.
like the vents. I just
okay,
mean the look of
okay.
this, the design.
I
of
love
this
the sets.
hallway.
Yeah.
Is very iconic. I've seen it in video games. I've seen it in like it's repeated over and over.
where do you
the
think they got that
octagon
inspiration?
The hexagon shape of the door.
Maybe an oil rig?
Maybe, yeah. That makes perfect sense. They're a colony, right? So it had to look a little
Yes,
bit
it was a
frontier
colony.
like. I think they were going for a frontier look. And so the idea was it was impermanent. So that makes perfect sense. Oil rig. Oil rigs are as impermanent as you can get, you know? As permanent as you can get.
Okay. The only true survivor of xenomorph encounters is Jonesy. That's
Yeah. Oh, they're talking about the rest of the movies, but like we haven't even talked about the rest of the lore. Like I've seen them all and I know it all.
I
and-
don't
and,
really like the other movies. I don't
3
remember.
is just a. I
Well,
mean,
okay.
I might
Yeah.
watch it again, but I remember
So,
that movie was a disaster.
It was.
just really weird.
And here's the thing. David
it was
Fincher.
so depressing.
David
Oh, he did
Fincher,
that one?
One of the
Yeah.
greatest filmmakers of all time, and he disowned the movie because the studio fucked with it so bad. So I want to see the David Fincher
what
cut.
happened.
Do they even have a David Fincher cut?
There isn't
Yes,
one.
there is a David.
Oh,
Fincher
there
cut.
is.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. I
Oh.
still haven't seen it.
You serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, where?
I-
I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna watch it, and maybe I'm wrong about the whole thing.
It might be good, I
I've
don't
been
know.
Fooled. I've watched other versions of movies and had a different experience. So I
There-
wouldn't be surprised.
Is
if they
Alien
put
3 the
certain
one with
pieces
Winona
in.
Ryder in it, or is that
No.
another one? Okay, I completely forgot.
No, Alien
No,
3 is
Alien-
she's
that's
on a
4.
prison. She's in a prison. Is it a prison planet?
Okay,
or
so
a
she's
moon?
back in space again, right? Because she floats in space after this mess. And what they say is, for whatever reason, she's killed by an alien that was on the ship, and Newt is killed, and she's floating through space or something, and she ends up on this prison planet.
Yeah, right.
Like, of all places. I think she just ends up there. She just crashes there or whatever.
And you're sure that's not the one with Winona Ryder?
Yes. The one Winona Ryder plays an android, and she's
Right, I
she's
remember.
in. That's the fourth one where they're.
The fourth, okay.
It's like really
Alien
far in the
Resurrection,
future
okay.
where they resurrect her from DNA, and she's half alien.
Right.
Because the DNA they had was mixed
Yeah, I
with
remember
alien.
it got worse. It's kind of like, with the Terminator movies. I'm just going to
Yeah.
go mostly with the first two.
Yeah. So okay, real quick, Alien 3 had some stunning imagery and some great ideas,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the prison and
but the
yeah.
movie itself was not good because it was cut down and made into. They
I'd
tried
be
to make an
super curious
action
to
movie
see
out
this
of it.
other.
when
I
think-
have never heard
yeah,
of a
Fincher
Fincher
wanted
cut.
it- wanted to go back to
feels
horror.
Really, it feels really Mad Max.
Yeah.
You know, it feels really.
4 was written by Josh Whedon. Oh, I didn't know that. Co-starred, yeah.
That
Okay,
makes
so yeah,
sense
that
because
was
they
a-
feel like superheroes.
Yeah, because it was garbage.
No, they're all
The fourth one
all
was
got. They have
terrible.
a superhero, like they have a cool ship. And,
yeah.
And they all these quirky characters, a dude in a wheelchair. It's like, it was like, basically in an alien movie, it's just like lambs for the slaughter, right? It's just like all
Yeah.
kinds of cool looking dudes to get like murdered by aliens.
Real quick, Ahmed, you said something that I wanted to address. You said, I want to see more of the aliens.
Yeah.
I did.
But
I don't.
I feel the same way as Sin.
Yeah.
This is what we get, Alien 4. Like
it
those
wears
movies,
off.
gonna
we
suck.
get to
It's gonna
see
say
the
it's gonna
aliens,
suck.
and it
The
sucks.
effect wears off if they show too much
Yeah.
and if we see it too often. This is part of the reason why I loved Godzilla -1 so much, because it wasn't mostly about Godzilla. To me, it just like
seen that
after a while overexposure,
Mm-hmm.
it just loses its effectiveness for me.
Yeah.
And so I like that they kept them in shadow, and I like that we didn't see them a lot. That heightens the fear
Yeah.
for
No,
me.
for
If you
sure.
see
That
them
was-
a
that
lot,
was-
it's just
that
like
was very
eh.
clever.
Okay.
I mean, but you gotta at least get one good kill in, like where like you see it rend somebody in some interesting way, right? Like
They never really show that. Yeah, it just shows them
Yeah.
like attack and then
you
like,
just somebody explodes, somebody dies or
or
explodes.
they've gone and they've taken them and put them in
No,
the
you
cocoon.
never, they didn't you never saw it do it the mouth thing through somebody or they do that later, but not in Aliens.
Benjamin Wagner says, I was glad when they did Aliens versus Predator so that they could add lore to both races. In theory, I agree, but the movie sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
No, I haven't, Sashi. Not yet.
So, what did we get an
I got the
aggregation of
I've got
everybody?
the yes. So for us, our average was 8.33 Infinity, and for
8.33
the
or 8.3?
8.3333 Infinity.
How? Hold on. If we got a 9 and a 9.5 versus an 8, that doesn't mathematically
Yeah,
make
but
sense.
you divide it by 3. 8 plus 9 plus 9.5.
Yeah, no,
that
she's
gives
right.
us 26.5
She said 8, not
divided by 3.
8.5.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. 8.83 Infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
8.83 Infinity. And it's really close to the audience. It's really close. The audience is 8.92.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
So very, very, very close.
Very close.
So we all agree.
Yes, we all
Pretty
agree.
much. Yeah.
Great movie. Okay, so yeah. All right. Somebody said, where'd it go? 3 has an assembly cut, but it's not technically a director's cut. I don't know. I've heard of this David Fincher cut somewhere, so maybe I should do some.
Oh, I'm
digging.
sorry, Horror Stream. Shoot, I forgot. I'm going to add in Horror Stream. On Rumble, I got someone who gave a score, and I have the chat right here, but I didn't even notice it. Sorry, let me.
It's 2. It throws the whole average.
It actually doesn't. It's another 9.
Okay.
So
exactly.
they're gonna have
It
a
gets
higher
a little
average.
closer. Now it's 8.95.
Plus 8 plus 9. That gives 71.5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 divided by 8. 8.93. Okay, it raises it not
by
much.
100th
But, yeah.
of a point.
Okay.
Cool. Well, glad we got to watch that. I will try and dig up that David Fincher cut whenever I can.
Look at this.
The David Fincher.
Exists
Okay.
on the internet.
Wow.
I
Is that-
believe him.
is
I
that
have
the
never
John 5?
heard of this.
Johnny
what?
5 is alive.
It's John 5 with an actual picture of John 5.
Who is John 5?
He's a guitarist.
Oh,
used to
okay.
He
Had
used to
no
play
idea.
guitar for KMFDM and Marilyn Manson. Those are the only 2 people I know about.
Oh, okay. All right. I had no idea. Okay.
All
Well,
right.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Aliens.
It's the stuff going on.
James Cameron. I have bad memories associated with this movie though. I can't remember if I mentioned in the last stream. The very first time I saw this was right before I had to go to the hospital for an operation.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not why I don't like it as much as the first movie. I think I just liked, which is weird because the first Terminator is like a horror. There's all these similarities I'm drawing to Terminator. The first Terminator feels more horror in nature. The second one is more sci-fi thriller, action thriller. Same thing. Aliens more horror. This one's more sci-fi action thriller. And it's weird because I love Terminator 2 the most. I love the Terminator 2, but Terminator 2, and yet with Alien, I love the first one more because I love the horror aspect of it more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
They're both great.
They are.
I can't blame anybody for liking the first one better than the second one. It's just
Yeah, it's certainly
total-
not a controversial issue, I don't
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
because they're both really
negative.
solid films.
so. I guess our next Sin's Corner Cinema feature, whether we actually change formats by the time it's time for us to talk about a new movie or not, we should set it up. So another
Okay.
Ant movie, because another Chrysalis is coming out, and
Right.
I don't know why I didn't think of this. The movie Ants,
Oh, that movie. The animated movie.
not A Bug's Life.
Yeah, Ants, ANTZ,
Ants.
right?
I remember when
Okay.
both of those movies came out, they came out, I think, in the same year. And I remember thinking, oh, this Ants movie is just a fucking cash grab. They're trying to, work off the Pixar train because A Bug's Life was like Pixar's second film,
train.
right?
the
What was
Pixar
that?
trend.
Was that Pixar?
A Bug's Life was. Ants was not. Ants is
Oh,
DreamWorks.
right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right.
And I remember thinking back then, oh, this is a cash grab, but Ants is the better movie. Like,
Yes, it
by
was.
far. So, I mean, I was stunned by that when I watched it. And by the way, I was a teenager, right? I was like 10 or 11 when that shit came
He
out.
was a teenager.
I was a teenager. So,
Because what year? What year was it? Was it 97 that Ants came out?
I
that they
think it was
both came-
97. It was earlier than I thought it was going to be when I looked it up. We already did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Did someone? Yeah,
For
yeah, we did that.
Chrysalis, for
yeah,
Chrysalis
that was
3.
for one of the other Chrysalises.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, John. Yeah, no, it's John was asking. I don't know if you saw his question.
No.
He was saying, "Oh, I got to go up. Hold on." He said he was asking, "Will you talk Prometheus, Covenant, and Romulus?" I just said I'm not sure because we cater our discussions to upcoming releases. So
Yeah, maybe that'll change once we have a separate
yeah, because we're
cinema
going to
show.
change some stuff. Yeah.
Right. But Tremors.
Oh,
my
Tremors is such a. It's been years since I've seen this
I want to
movie.
see. I want to see Tremors again.
And I
That was a good
remember
one.
I loved it so much.
Yeah, same. That was a good one.
It was so good.
Okay, are you having second thoughts, Joe?
No, because it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't know that it really makes
If it's
sense.
less
That's
than
true,
Tremors
that's
and
true.
Ants,
Maybe
We have
the
to-
next Chrysalis when we're out of things.
We have to figure out some way to work that in.
Yeah.
I want to introduce Arturo to it because he's
he hasn't seen it.
No, he has not.
Wow.
Shame.
Man, it's so good.
1998.
I even liked Tremors 2.
I don't remember
when I was a
anything.
kid. I loved it. Now maybe if
you
I
should
watch
have
it
put
as an
that-
adult, I'll hate it. But like,
I don't remember anything about the second Tremors.
yeah, you know what else could be a good bug film, and I don't think we've done this. It's the one that made what's his name, the new guy who's the Guardians of the Galaxy guy.
What's his face? Chris Pratt?
No, the director.
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Slither is the
Oh
movie
yeah, Slither. Yeah. That is
that
a crazy
he
movie.
broke into the industry with. Basically.
That was a crazy movie.
Yeah. That might work for bugs, for ants. I don't know. That's kind of a stretch too.
They're kind of wormy though.
Yeah, they're more wormy in the same way that it fits the same way that Tremors fits.
Do we have anything upcoming that involves worms, y'all?
Is it Special Assembly Cut? Is that the one?
Someone was mentioning something
Yeah, someone
about
said that was a cut.
Alien 3 Special Assembly Cut. I
Star
am so
Trek
fascinated
Outlander.
by this.
We
We
did
did Starship
already
Troopers.
cover Starship Troopers.
And that might have been for Chrysalis.
Might have been.
Yeah, we've exhausted the supply. We've watched all the bug movies. Inadvertently became experts of bug movies.
Okay, are you guys cool with ants just being the one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
been a
I'm
while.
already
It's not
grabbing
my
it.
favorite film, but I don't mind rewatching it. It has
I've
been a
never
bit.
seen it.
I just
Oh, you haven't
remember
seen it?
Jennifer
Okay, cool.
Lopez
Oh,
was
no.
in there, Sylvester Stallone, and Woody Allen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you seeing it then, Ahmed.
Oh, you've never?
I was so,
I didn't
was
catch
so
that.
surprised at how much I really liked that movie.
It was good.
All right, cool. All right, everybody, this is your
Awesome.
homework. Watch Ants, and then 2 weeks
Come
from
back
today,
to us with a score.
come back with a score, and we'll tell you if you're stupid or not.
There will be no such talk going on. We will not. Outlander says we need to watch Starship Troopers too.
I would never tell someone if they were stupid
The
because
second
then they
one?
become less useful to me.
Did you say Starship Troopers 2?
Yeah, that's what Outlander said.
You just want to torture us, right? That's it. It's like, why
All right.
would we
Well,
wanna
do we
watch
want to
that?
bring Joseph or Yosef?
He's been
Yes.
waiting in the wing.
Been waiting. We've
Oh,
been
we-
just
Yes.
We never thought to get a score from him for Aliens.
we'll
Joseph,
ask
We
him
That's
to
we
come
score.
saw we did a discussion for Mimic.
We already did
Simon.
that. Yes, we did. Yep.
You there, Joseph?
Did he leave?
There's some
Did he take
applause.
off? Oh,
There
there
he
he
is.
is.
Yeah, no,
He needed the applause. He was
I'm
waiting
still
for the
here.
applause. That's at his rider. I don't come out unless there's applause.
Are you at an Airbnb right now?
No, I'm actually in a student dorm in Japan.
Ah, okay. Oh, in Japan. That's cool.
Oh.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, what? You're a student in Japan right now,
I'm a
or are you
student in
just banging a
Germany, but
student in Japan?
no, unfortunately
Oh.
not. But I'm in an exchange here. So my room is a complete mess because actually I'm gonna go back to Germany in 2 days.
Looks clean to me.
Yeah, because all
Um,
we can see is
yeah,
like from
I
here up.
mean, I guess
He's doing that on
there's, I
purpose.
don't
There
know,
we go. There we go.
weird
All
stuff on the floor. You don't want to see it.
right. Right on. So, thanks for requesting. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have requested?
So I saw the troll poll, and like I'm not writing in any professional sense. But I saw the troll poll,
Mhm.
and saw it was like a 1,000 word short story, and I basically just wrote something for the poll, and yeah, it's not really well written story. It's pretty stupid, but I hope it's the right amount of stupid to be entertaining at least. And yeah, it's a scene about like drunk dwarves in a bar. So it's not part of any bigger story or anything. I think if I tell you more, it's gonna be probably a
Spoilers.
spoiler.
Okay. All right. So, real quick, before I ask any more better questions, what score did you give Aliens out of 10?
So
He's gonna say he
I
hasn't seen it.
I think I have to admit that I think I saw it, but I was super small, and I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
remember.
Okay. You're not
I don't really
American,
remember.
so you're totally forgiven.
So I'm exempted.
You don't.
Is
it's
he
not your
really, though?
You're not. It's not your responsibility. So fix it now. But
You have time.
it's fine. We're not judging you. Okay. So what are you studying? I mean,
I'm
you're an
studying,
exchange student, so.
yeah, I'm studying chemical engineering. So yeah,
Okay. So
I'm.
do you have like aspirations to write fiction though, or is this just something
I
you did for
mean,
fun?
you can all support me on Patreon if you want. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even have Patreon. Um, so I just discovered writing like one year ago as a hobby. And of course, I would love to kind of write my own story. I'm actually trying to write like a novel in German, and I'm 30K words in, but I haven't written anything the last month. So let's see where it goes. But other than that, I basically yeah, I mean, it would be amazing, and I'm trying to do it a bit on the side, but it's not something I aspire to in a big way. But of course, if I manage to write like 1 or 2,000 words a week, it would be amazing. And let's see where it goes.
Cool. All right. Well, let's see what these dwarves are up to.
All right. Okay. Let's see what the dwarves are up to.
Okay.
So I can give you some information in a sense that so there's a stranger coming in the room, and then there's from the speakers there's three different dwarves. One is a barkeeper and two drunkards in the inn.
Okay. All right. Let me know so I need to come up with 3 voices besides the narrator.
Um, 4 with the stranger.
With the
3
stranger. Okay.
dwarves, 1 stranger, and the narrator.
All right. The door opened
with a creaking sound as a tall figure in a hooded black coat stepped into the inn.
Welcome to Snarl's Symposium of Half-Breed Plum Ale!
Greeted a greasy, fat dwarf behind. There was a short silence in the inn as everyone interrupted their conversations to look at the newcomer.
Who the fuck is this bugger?
Shouted an angry dwarf. His face was red from hours of excessive drinking.
I'll let this ugly giant fucker entertain!
Shouted a blasted, drunk, well-endowed dwarf woman. When the newcomer didn't show any reaction, the dwarf's face became even redder. He stepped onto the table, knocking over the drinks, and threw a half-full mug in the direction of the stranger.
Nobody ignores Sigmund, the champion of the Rustwood clan!
Not moving in the slightest, the stranger caught the mug in the air and gently threw it back to its origin, hitting the chubby dwarf on his shiny bald head.
Sigmund, the champion of Dumbwood!
The crowd burst into laughter.
Shut your ugly food hole, Sigmund!
Shouted the innkeeper.
Do not scare away me customers. Another word, and you are banned. Don't make me call your mother again.
Sigmund's pride had taken a hit, but he sat back down, snatched a mug from his companion, and drank away his shame.
I have to apologize,
said the bartender. Oh, bartender's a female.
I have to apologize,
said the bartender. She was tall for a dwarf and had flaps of fat hanging down her body.
Usually, these stupid fuckers keep it together, but tomorrow the Dwarven army will send out a platoon to investigate the missing dwarf in Bluefort. There is a sighting of a strong monster there. Better to blow off some steam now than to regret it later.
The hooded figure nodded, but didn't reply.
What's it, stranger?
The bartender asked. Finally, the hooded figure's yellow eyes stared directly at the bartender.
I am just a wandering traveller. By the mother of shits! Don't tell me you are one of those homeless gypsies from the south who have not a single piece of coin in their pockets.
This seemed to be a common problem here, and the bartender was already angry with losing out on some gold.
Miss Groggy Snarlskunk,
the bartender shot back. Miss Snarlskunks,
Miss...
Oh, deep and soothing voice, gotcha.
Miss Snarlskunk,
the stranger replied in a deep and soothing voice.
I assure you that I am no trouble.
He put a piece of gold on the counter. I need a room for this night and dinner after a long day of travelling. The fat, greedy dwarf eagerly put the gold in her pocket.
I see. This fine establishment can provide all the amenities a gentleman like you deserves. Hey, Pippi! Stop lying around and get our new customer a big steak of fairy meat. Mr. Stranger, your dinner will be ready at any moment.
She smiled, showing a row of crooked teeth.
Please do not bother. I like my steak bloody. No cooking needed. And don't save on the amount,
he said, and put another 2 gold coins on the counter.
These frickin' southerners, she muttered. As you want, Mr. S. You'll get all the meats you want as long as you can pay for 'em.
In the back, Sigmund was heavily flirting with the large-chested dwarf on the other table.
You know, I have an important mission tomorrow. This might be my last chance to make love to such a lovely beauty as you are.
The dwarven woman let out a farting sound resembling laughter.
Oh, Sigmund, you are such a handsome dwarven man.
She put his hand under his dirt and beer-stained shirt, caressing his fat belly.
But I only like alpha dwarfs. How do I know that you have what it takes?
A short while later, there was a huge pile of dead fairies on the counter, dripping yellow ooze out of them. With a delightful moan, the stranger slurped down all the dead fairies at once, even crushing down on the plate.
By the king's beard, what the ugly fuck are you?
Wait. Groggy? Is Groggy's still the bartender, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I did a mistake there.
Oh, of course it is. You can call me the Sandman. I guessed this, like, after his second line. Okay, go back to your whore, mother of a giant fucker! Screamed Sigmund at the same moment, and smashed a chair at the back of the Sandman's head. Faster than anyone could react, the Sandman turned around. Actually, that was not the case. Out of the back of the creature, another face formed, and multiple tentacles erupted from his cloak. The creature bit down on Sigmund's arm, which was still holding a piece of the chair. This flavor. Get off, you ugly monster! Sigmund screamed. The Sandman bit off his other arm. The dwarves of the Snarlwood Valley really have a unique taste, almost as sweet as hilt nectar. Sigmund was sobbing now. Don't eat me arm, please, give it back! Boxy was now going full-out murder hobo. In a bloody feeding frenzy, he ate 27 obese dwarfkin and even ended up licking the viscous blood from the dirty floor tiles. Oh, man! You're already finished, boss, said Cora, disappointed. Boxy was exhaling gluttonously. These fat dwarves really were a treat. It's a shame that all of the dwarven villages, only these ones, have diabetes and are so fat. Zira stepped into the inn. Using her demonic skills, she turned into the large-chested dwarven woman. I would be exhilarated for my master to feast upon me. Shut up, Snack! There is no time for playing around! We need to get to the next village before anyone gets wind of this situation. Boxy and his entourage were on the way out when the greedy shapeshifter turned around. Wait, I gave this stupid dwarf 3 gold pieces! It went back to the bloody rags that were left of the barkeeper and took her purse. Stupid dwarves, it chuckled, and with a bloody grin, it turned back into its Sandman alias, casually strolling to the next dwarven inn. All right, Boxy fanfic is what
surprise
he requested.
Boxy, yeah.
Surprise Boxy. That's his specialty is surprises. So, is it Josef or Joseph?
Josef.
Josef, thanks so much for coming and requesting your Boxy fanfic. That was a fun little surprise for us. And yeah, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I really liked you reading it out. It was very amazing. I'm a huge fan of many of your audiobooks you do. That's what also made me start writing, because I was literally addicted to audiobooks, and I thought maybe I should start writing a bit myself, other than listening for hours every day. So it was really a pleasure.
Cool, man. Well, hey, keep at it. Except, your degree, I'm sure that keeps you super busy, all your classes. That shit is hardcore. But, hey, if you find the time to write, that's great. And, maybe you can post something on Royal Road someday and get some followers, Get that ball rolling. Thanks so much for requesting.
Thank you,
Thanks so
Joseph.
much for coming.
Thank you
and
so
hanging out.
much.
You have a good rest of your night.
Cheers.
Wow, that was pretty cool. Oh, man. Did not expect that. All right, well, what do we got left? We got, can we do some Chat GPT?
Yeah. You want to wrestle with the machine?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's wrestle with the machine. What do you want it to do, Jeff? What do we want it to do here?
Okay. A team of dwarven marines investigate an abandoned space colony.
Keeping it thematic. I see what you're doing.
Let's see. Let's try a 10-minute screenplay. Hold on. Right after Space Colony, wait, or
mysteriously abandoned. There we go. An elf named Burke accompanies them, someone says.
Dulcimer says, include a sentient pocket watch.
Abandoned space colony. Hang on. Wait, what was that? Hang on. I need the ads. Yeah, I need the ads. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me get these. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. An elf named include a sentient pocket watch.
Yep.
Are fairies intelligent? Oh wait, no,
No,
that's the other.
Just
stuff.
these
Okay.
two.
Include. Okay. Let me just write that. Include a sentient pocket watch, and I can just add them together, right? And
Yeah, just I would say it's probably better to put them in as different sentences.
Named Burke. An elf named Burke accompanies. Okay.
Cool. Let's do this.
Okay,
Chat
here we
GPT,
go.
work your magic.
Boom.
Green room.
Great room.
All right. Interior. Oh, it's still gone. Okay.
Hang on, yeah.
Interior. Abandoned space colony. Main hall. Day. The space colony's main hall lies in eerie silence. Dust floats in the air. The team of dwarven marines, led by Commander Grum, cautiously make their way through the desolate corridors. Elven scout Burke, agile and alert, follows close behind. Keep your eyes sharp, lads. Something's not right here. Dwarven marines nod, their laser rifles ready. As they proceed deeper, they come across a peculiar sight. A magnificent but ancient-looking pocket watch lying on the ground. Commander, take a look at this. Commander Grum examines the watch with intrigue. Suddenly, the watch emits a faint glow and a soft, melodic ticking fills the air. Burke's sharp ears catch the sound. Do you hear that? The pocket watch trembles slightly, its ticking growing louder and more pronounced. It seems to emanate an otherworldly aura. By the beards of our ancestors. The pocket watch levitates, swirling gently in the air. A voice, ancient and wise, resonates from within. Greetings, travelers. Welcome to the echoes of time. The dwarves exchange bewildered glances, while Burke maintains his composure. What manner of sorcery is this? I am but a vessel of time, a witness to the ages. I have seen the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth and death of stars. Ye speak as though you're alive. In a way, I am. I am the embodiment of the memories engraved within me, a relic of forgotten epochs. Dwarven marines murmur amongst themselves, their disbelief palpable. What brings you to this forsaken place, Timekeeper? Long have I dwelled within these walls, watching over the inhabitants who once roamed these corridors. But now they are gone, leaving behind naught but whispers, carried by the solar winds. The atmosphere grows heavier as the weight of the colony's fate sinks in. What befell them? Where have they gone? The answers lie buried in the sands of time, waiting to be unveiled by those brave enough to seek them. Burke's keen eyes catch a glimmer of light in the distance, drawing his attention. There, beyond the shadows. Perhaps we shall find our answers there. With newfound determination, the team ventures deeper into the heart of the colony, guided by the enigmatic presence of the sentient pocket watch. Fade out. Guys, this is kind of good.
Isn't it bad that it's good?
It is kind of bad that it's good. But
It's
no,
kinda-
I totally dig it. We need to do like longer
it's-
screenplays though, because
It's
it's
really
like
bad that it's good.
when
And
it's
then they all effing died, Outlanders.
So okay, we need to tell them to say something else besides
Times
10.
Echoes. It even has his name and everything.
That's pretty
We
good.
should just.
Were
just
you
gonna
adding
produce
like
ChatGPT
music in the
books.
background?
Yeah.
on
Yes,
that? That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I thought. I didn't know if that was
Yeah, a
coming
little
from.
bit at the end.
Okay.
So we need to do longer than 10 minutes because
That was not 10 minutes.
that was not 10 minutes at all.
It
Because,
thought you were gonna
but it's
read
only
really
because
slowly?
we were reading it, right? Like the rule in Cinema is a page equals a minute in a screenplay.
Oh, wait, was
And-
this
but
10
even
pages?
this is like 3 pages,
Yeah,
4
no.
pages. So I don't know. We need
It
we need
wasn't very
longer.
long.
We need longer ones, but that's about it. That's my only complaint.
Yeah, no, isn't it crazy how what happened? Like it just got smarter, right? Like
Yeah,
they just figured it out. They made it better, and now it just works correctly.
and they took the stick out of its ass.
What does that bode? What does that? How does that? What does that bode for us? How does that bode for us? Like
I think it's fine.
this thing, it was very competent writing. Like if you gave it a few tweaks, you'd
It's
be
just very
good.
bare bones, though. It doesn't get into
Right.
the nitty
Well,
gritty.
yeah, no, but I wonder if you really like.
It could give you an outline to write a bigger story.
No,
by.
no. What I mean to say is this. Hang on. We said a 10-minute screenplay, right?
Yeah.
But if we changed it to like, I don't know. I'm curious. We're not gonna. Let's see what it does. Okay. Yeah, there's just so much more. It's already different, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now in 50 minutes, it's going to give you the oh, wait, this is not 50 minutes.
No.
No,
Wait.
wait. It ignored our time descriptor.
Hmm.
But it is different. It wrote something different. So crazy. So crazy.
Dulcimer asks if you can give it a setting to describe scenery in more depth. I wonder if that would be something that works.
Describe scenery in more depth. I mean, yeah, I can't see why it wouldn't, right? See what it does now. Yep.
Okay, but you took away the screenplay.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, describe scenery
Yeah,
in more
because now
depth.
it's like. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 10.
Maybe we don't need it to be in screenplay form.
No, it's good in screenplay form. It's easier to like read, no, in dialogue and the way it describes
So this is a completely different take on it.
yet another one, but also equally short. I think you like have to
Yeah,
pay
maybe
or something to make
is
it
this
longer.
a free version or something?
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
like
for
you
this.
need it to be less free in order
Yeah,
to
in
get
order
longer
for it to
things.
like really write. But still, this is like,
It's pretty cool. I think this is a fun game.
yeah, it is. It is.
All right. Well, hey guys, I think that's good for our episode. That was a fun Chat GPT. I think we should talk to Chat GPT more. Maybe get it a contract.
Yeah, I've made up with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I just need its email address so I
yeah.
can send it to it.
Right. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
We have 2 more weeks before the next SBTL. Don't forget to do your homework. Watch the movie Ants, the DreamWorks. I believe it's
And come
DreamWorks
with the
production.
score.
Woody Allen. Yeah, Woody Allen, Sylvester Stallone, Jennifer Lopez, right? They're all in it.
This is not selling it. This is unselling it for
Not,
me.
it's unselling it. You don't like
You've
Woody
already
Allen?
sold it.
No.
Not any of them. It's so
Aunts
funny.
sound like